What's going on with Magnus Carlsen? You're about to see a game full of twists and turns. I'm going to level with you. It's late right now. The weather's all over the place in the UK. My chest has gone really tight. So we're going in quick and dirty, showing you the drama here. Vincent Keimer playing with the black pieces. And after Magnus plays pawn c4, he plays the Sicilian with colours reversed. We see the knight hop out here. And now this committal system where you give up the bishops, shatter the pawn structure there and say, okay, yes, you've got the bishop there, Magnus, but the position's closed. I'm going to get hopping with my knights. This is what we now see. Bishop attacked. Magnus whispers, stack my bishop as he moves it back here. Knight f6 played and it hits the centre of the board. Queen now covering. We see this pawn push. Classic modern chess. Secures the knight a little bit more. Upon b4, there are knight e6 ideas. We see knight d2 played. And honestly, I thought it was headed for f1. e3, maybe something like this. But after pawn a4, gaining tons more space. Look at this. Knight b1. And he's not setting up for the next game. Despairing. Castles. Knight a3 now. I mean, this is why the top grandmasters, and especially Magnus, manoeuvre on their hobby horse with elegance and poise. It's for games like this. Why on earth is that knight round here? I got no clue. Too deep for me. Can't you just go pawn c6, cover some jumps? It is a playable line. Vincent doesn't do it. He plays his pawn out to b6 here. And after bishop d2, not the immediate bishop g5, we now get queen e8 and now bishop g5. I mean, this is a nightmare for a YouTube commentator trying to understand some of this stuff here. We now see the queen head to e6. This was Vincent's point. This is his maneuver. f3 bolsters the centre and now bishop a6, covering the c4 pawn. Magnus backs up here. He's gone to d2, g5, e3, this is some craziness. Knight fd7's on the board, castles and rook fc8. Such weird looking moves. I think this one's playing against knight b5, adding some protection. You're going to see what we mean by that line. And before you can say, Genie, ring that bell, Magnus gains a ton of space. En passant is therefore played. Pawn recaptures here and the queen backs off, anticipating b4, vacating a square for the knight. But Magnus holds off, slides the queen over first. Knight now dropping back. This one jumps in, no bishop takes, it backs up here. Pawn's well protected a couple of times. Also by the knight is important, so you can recapture here. Magnus gains the space. h5 now from Vincent. You're going to see the point. Knight df8, h4 on the way here. First the rook is saved. Now we see it. Down the board it goes. And Magnus, doubling the rooks behind this weird knight, allows pawn h3. Vincent holds off at the last moment. Doesn't push it. He starts with queen f6. Magnus says you're not having another chance. He pushes the pawn. Knight into g6 now. Eyeing the dark squares, of course. Beautiful stuff. But it's white that actually retains advantage here. After knight b5, rook takes on a2. Rook recaptures. Pressure here. Ideas of bishop g5 in the air. If you ever trap the knight. Some very deep stuff. And so that's why Vincent plays rook d7. Not actually the most accurate. Queen e7 was stronger. Magnus can now invade with the rook, and the pieces for black really start treading on each other's toes. We get bishop c6 first, knight takes on c7. How is that possible? Surely it was defended enough times. Here's the point. It's pawn b5, and the bishop's running woefully short of squares. If you back up to the corner here, well, this is the beautiful point from Magnus. Pawn c5, and if pawn takes, you drop a rook. If b pawn takes, then there's bishop g5 on the cards. Queen e6, bishop takes on e6. You've got no squares, right? No good. So let's run back. c5 is a killer shot after bishop a8. Not played. We saw this knight drop back, open up the tension between the rooks, but Magnus doesn't want the trade. He backs off, and now if bishop b7, same problems. c5 on the way, same pinning ideas. This is on the way, all sorts of things. So that's why Vincent plays the kamikaze. Bishop takes on e4 here. Pawn recaptures, and although the material is now back level, I believe, if I've counted correctly, it's white with the pressure on this horrible b pawn. Queen d8 covers it. Queen f2 pressures. Rook over to b7 now. Queen f5 a strong idea, but Magnus starts with this one. Triple whammying that pawn. Knight f4 is on the board here, and it's a real crunch moment. What should Magnus play? Well, bishop takes on f4 is actually one of the strongest continuations. ef4, queen recaptures here, and although the queen can come to f6, try and do some defense, this endgame is extremely promising, especially after you open this bishop. This is just one sample line. Hit the rook, push e6, can't take, check, lose a knight. So you win here, and this should be really good for white. Borderline winning, right? What, a pawn to the good, very dangerous one, tons of pressure here, all sorts going on. So that was a winning idea, should be, but Magnus takes here, and he sheds a ton of advantage. If Vincent can find rook takes, exchange sacrifice, and then bringing the queen to g5, so much pressure on the white king, he misses it, the time's incredibly low, he plays instead knight c7, and this gives white back the advantage. There's an incredible attack possible now for white on the way. Wait till you see it. This is a huge threat. Pawn's pinned, you're about to pick up a queen, so that's why Magnus sidesteps his king. Knight c to e6, now bishop back, queen breaking the pin, king h2, knight c5 here. You don't want to blunder a pawn or a bishop, and now g5. Aggressive, gaining space. Is Vincent pushing for a win? Certainly he's cementing this knight. Now Magnus goes queen f3, and it's on the way. The blunder here, king g7 is prudent to defend, but queen e6 is played instead. And Magnus has an opportunity here to wrap up this game. It's rook a8 check. He completely misses it. This is a winning idea because now you take, one pawn recaptures, doesn't really matter, and you invade with the queen, and you're threatening to mate that king in various ways. Black has to slide over, try and intercept, but now there's this common tactic. Takes, wins the queen. King h7, wins the queen anyway, and this is a one position. Let's go back. This was the winning idea. Magnus completely overlooks it here. Magnus Rusterson right now, he plays queen g4 immediately. Yes, he loves an endgame without the queens on, but Vincent has much better chances here to blockade. Still Magnus is a pawn ahead though, and up on the clock. Vincent with everything to prove. Magnus now brings his king around all the way to the queen side, then switches up with the rook, going for new weaknesses here. F-pawn targeted, defended, rook f5, and now this is more strange chess. I just don't understand. Rook c7's on the board, and Magnus can win this pawn. Here's the line, something like this, right? And what to do from here? Rook c8, the all-powerful engine says, rook f5, rook g8. Something about it Magnus didn't like. He didn't believe it would be winning. Understandable when the bishop's so bad. But it was a good try. He didn't play it though. He went rook f1. We get tons of shuffling here, and Magnus now struggles to make progress because the black pawn blockades, cementos, everything. He backs off once more, and we get this position now where Magnus plays the committal. Bishop takes on c5, and this just leads nowhere. The structure's level, the bishop's awful. This rook bounces round, and very soon we see ourselves a threefold repetition. Draw agreed here, nothing too much happening. Maybe not a threefold, they just agreed it. Move 85. It took us to an Armageddon game. I'm even sweating in here. The weather in the UK is horrendous. We can't handle this. We just had thunderstorms. I'm dying over here. I can't breathe. I do apologise this evening, today, whenever you're watching this game. This is the Armageddon. Magnus about 2.5, 3 minutes ahead here. And he uses a system that Vincent's used. So if he wins, Magnus, and he has to win, he gets 1.5 points. If Vincent can draw, then it counts as a win for him because he's got the black pieces. Bishop now streaming into the game for black. Magnus offers the queen exchange, and look at this. Accepted. Who does that against Magnus Carlsen? Goat of the end game. Knight's leaving the board. Soon we get bishops too. I mean, somehow Magnus just starts doing his thing here, squeezing blood from a stone or water. Can't even get the phrases right. Pyramid setup. Vincent gains space, kicks back that rook, goes for a repetition. No chance. Magnus pushes, and he's securing himself this c6 square. I mean, this game is so instructive. Just the way he now effortlessly dismantles Vincent. This is a key idea. Covering knight hops. f6 covers this one, but bang, it goes a different way. In here, this is a threat. King covers the square. Magnus hops. He's now going to win this pawn. It's beautiful precision. He just absolutely crumples Vincent this game. It really is impressive. Pawn now covered, and this is the final blunder of the game. Vincent just outplayed. Magnus goes. Knight takes on e7. And if king takes, check. This one goes. Rook takes here, and you can't even defend this one. Or maybe you can like this, but then this is falling and it's just really, really bad. What, 1, 2 pawns down, not sure. Terrible endgame for black. White is winning it. So Vincent tried this, completely blundered his rook. Realised, of course, resigned the game. So a draw between them. Magnus takes the Armageddon. In other news, Ali Reza's storming it. Beat Pragnananda. Hope you enjoyed these games. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I can breathe a bit better. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Cheers.